Hello, people. Welcome to 50/50 Booking. We're in the middle of January. We're getting close to that time of the year, which even the casual wrestling fans tend to enjoy. We're coming up to the Royal Rumble, which should be interesting and fun for everyone involved. And of course, the man over this side seems less convinced by that. Hi, Aaron.
Depends which one, because after this week, we're pretty sure who's winning the Women's Royal Rumble.
Are we?
From the looks of things.
Okay. We will talk about that then. So, at some point during the show, I would imagine anyway. But yeah, all good fun. Something I literally found out just before going on air, by the way, and this comes courtesy of the website Fightful. The reason why I haven't seen Mustafa Ali apparently for quite a while now is apparently he fell out with Vince. They had a raging argument over a gimmick that Ali didn't want to do, and he's not been around since.
Yeah, I've heard about this already.
Yeah. So, but that's obviously also for the benefit of the people watching as well, and obviously yourself if you didn't know, but you do. So cool. But there's a bit more detail about it. But if you guys want to know more about that, it's on Fightful's paid wall service. So go there.
From what I'd heard, the gimmick in question was a little bit edgy.
I'm not going to mention any of the details because if people want to know what that is, they've reported that it's their business model. I don't want to get into details because I don't want to be a douche. You should support people who try and make good stuff for you.
Mm-hmm.
So just a peripheral thing. But to respond to what you just said, because obviously you mentioned it. Yeah, basically it was a bit. Let's just say it could have had some
ramifications.
There you go. That's probably the best way of putting it. So, but there you go. It is a shame though because I like Ali. I'd like to see more of him.
I think a lot of people would. I mean, the tag team that he had going with Ricochet at one point was actually really fun to watch.
Well, even him and Mansoor worked. I thought that was quite an interesting team.
It was, but the breakup was just next level bullshit for Saudi.
It was, yeah. It was also far too. They didn't stay together long enough for it to be a thing. But I think it could have been quite a decent team. But yeah, you mentioned Ricochet as well. That's another good example.
I mean, I thought they were going to last longer than RK Bro, and I was wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have some discussions regarding RK Bro when we get to that, because I have some thoughts about that.
Join the club.
I suspected you might. But obviously, with WWE, we can review as normal, as forever, apart from on the rare occasions, it's Raw we're going to start with, because, yeah. And Aaron is that depressed by that fault. He's drinking. Is that beer?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. I never like to assume because you never know.
I'm not exactly a creature of habit when it comes to alcohol.
Yeah, but I also like to ask. I don't even like to assume something because pretty much everyone can guess what's in here.
Coffee.
Yeah, because I don't drink alcohol. So it's kind of makes it easy. And I'm not going to put a soft drink in there, so it's either one of three things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's water, tea, coffee.
Ooh.
So there you go. But yeah, we do have to start with Raw. Sorry, that's just how it works.
Yeah. I mean, the start of Raw wasn't bad. And by the start of Raw, I mean 8 minutes.
Do you mean the theme tune?
The theme tune's always good.
Well, there's been some that haven't been, but yeah, I get your point.
Yeah, that's true.
So, well, I probably will touch upon Corey Graves briefly. He's been taken off the no contact list. And for anyone who doesn't know what that is, it looks like Aaron doesn't. Do you
I'm just
actually?
shocked. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a precursor to being cleared to wrestle, generally.
Yeah. In other words, he can take minor bumps, not like full physical contact unless okayed with first.
Yeah. Essentially, if you want an idea of people that run on their contact list, think Paige.
Mm-hmm.
To give you an idea of the kind of people who usually are on that kind of a list. So there you go. But hopefully he's okay physically. I mean, for another reason than the fact of it'd be nice if he's healthy. Doesn't even necessarily have to wrestle, but it'd be nice if he's healthy. I may not be the biggest fan of Corey Graves, but I like the idea of him being healthy to be able to decide what he wants to do. I think that's great.
I mean, I used to enjoy his gimmick as the savior of misbehavior back in NXT. It was interesting to watch in his tag team.
Well, yeah, the only part that's literally the only thing I enjoyed was him and Pac. That was literally it.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, him and Neville as it would have been at the time, but yeah.
Adrian Neville in NXT, I believe.
You'd be correct. So,
not sure why the first name disappeared.
Because Vince has a hard-on for getting rid of first names.
Mm.
You may have noticed.
Yeah. Lashley. Lesnar.
Ali. Although he's got the Mustafa back now, but that's one. Cesaro.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few of them out there.
Kid.
Yeah. But there you go. And in some cases, he gets rid of the surnames. Natalia. Yeah. Tamina.
Charlotte.
Can't imagine why.
No.
It's not like there's anything going on there at all.
I don't know.
Anyway, yes, beginning of Raw after the music has started. But yeah, good luck to Corey as well. So, So Raw started with dun dun dun.
Brock Lesnar.
Well, it wasn't going to be a wrestling match, was it? It's Raw.
I mean, it looked like we was going to get our answer to the question we asked last week about promo for promo.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Lesnar promoing about Roman on Raw and Roman promoing about Lesnar on SmackDown. And the answer to the question was, yeah, basically. And during this, Lashley was seen behind backstage, behind the curtain, talking to Shelton and Alexander.
Yeah.
And he basically told him to fuck off.
He didn't use those words because WWE don't use those words.
Okay. He said, I work alone.
There you go.
So then we went to Heyman and he introduced the champ, Brock Lesnar. Brock actually addressed Philadelphia and Lashley's music hit straight afterwards, pretty much. Came out and said, it's an honor to share the spotlight with Lesnar. Then Lashley said, you've been ducking me for 20 years. And Lesnar said, sorry, I was busy in this ring and in other rings too. Obviously referring to his UFC career.
Well, he's not wrong.
And Lesnar said if he already met Bobby Lashley already in the past few years, he'd have beaten him already. Lashley called him a comedian. Then Lesnar did a knock-knock joke that went something along the lines of, knock knock, who's there? Bobby. Bobby who? Exactly. And Lashley laughed, but the laugh was a bit of a sarcastic one.
The thing with that joke, if any other wrestler had done that, it doesn't work. It works for Brock because it's Brock.
Yeah. What I didn't get was that, Lashley didn't find the joke funny, obviously. And then,
it's not meant to be funny. That's kind of the point.
yeah. And then just to close off this segment, Brock called Lashley a Brock Lesnar. He said it's impossible to beat Brock Lesnar, even though we all know it isn't. Quite a few people in the UFC know it isn't either.
But he's not going to tell people you can beat me, is he? That would be a bit stupid.
But he said it's impossible to beat Brock Lesnar, and it's especially impossible if you're a Brock Lesnar wannabe, referring to Lashley. And he literally just dropped the microphone and walked away.
Yeah, I had no issue with this promo from Brock. I thought this was well done.
No, I thought this was actually really good. I mean, we haven't had Lesnar talk on a microphone ever.
It's rare when he does it. Even when he's not had a mouthpiece, he's still rarely done it.
Yeah, he's a strong silent type with a mouthpiece 9 times out of 10. And to have him as a promo and to be in a face as cutting a promo as well, it's quite a different end to the scale that we're used to.
I think the added benefit here for him as well is he's still being himself, even though he's a face. It's not a big character departure for him. He's still being him, but it's from the face angle, not the heel angle. And I think that's why this works for him.
Yeah. What didn't really work for me, though, was the fact that after Lesnar left, Lashley was jumped by Cedric and Shelton. Just why?
Yeah. I don't really see I work alone as a motivation for being attacked, for telling people you work alone. I mean, if you'd later on in the show had them being paid by Heyman or something, then okay. I'd get that at least. That at least make a degree of sense. But
you're not going to do that with a face.
But Heyman doesn't have to be a face. Heyman can be the sniving, conniving manager.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're having him on a storyline with Roman Reigns at the same time, and multi-storying it like this. You want him to be a face. You don't want him to. You want him to be the affected party in this. You don't want him to be the conniving, scheming guy.
But he can still do that as a face. Heyman can do that. It's one of those. It's one of those weird things. He could do it.
WWE's not going to book it. Let's be honest.
No. Also, it's the only real way this works for them to jumping at Lashley, because otherwise, why?
Pointless.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of the most logical explanation for it, and I think that's the most logical get out you'd have.
Yeah.
But even that has its issues, as you rightly just pointed out.
I mean, it's like when Heyman used to mouthpiece for CM Punk, and they hired the Shield out.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that, but obviously that's not happening this time. This just happened because of, I work alone. Come on, let's go beat him up. Really?
It kind of shows how it shows that Alexander and Benjamin are very easily upset if that's all it takes.
I mean, if the Hurt Business meant that much to them, then maybe they should have kept the championships. Just a thought.
Yeah. An equal fault. As you guys can hear, Aaron keeps on beeping. It's because he's real busy. And for those of you wondering, it's not him replying to his OnlyFans page. He doesn't do that on air.
I thought you put up a link for an OnlyFans page then. I was about to what the
fuck? There was a point this week where I had about a spare 10 minutes, and that's what I had, and I was seriously contemplating making one. Just for the giggles. But I remember the last time I tried doing that joke, people took it a bit too far.
Yeah.
Which is the thing that stops me doing that joke, because it's funny, but there's some people out there who don't understand the fact it's just a joke.
Yeah.
But there you go. So yeah, that bullshit, blah blah blah.
Sorry, I've just been told that I need to attend a meeting on Wednesday at 6 p.m. and like they didn't even like ask me whether or not I had any plans on Wednesday. They've literally just told me that I have to be there at 6 p.m. and it's just like, you wanted me to be your admin, like for your Discord server. You need to talk to me about meetings, so check my availability, check your other admin's availability, and then come up
Yeah,
with a date that fits everybody's schedule, not just turn around and say, be here 6 p.m. Wednesday or
date
be
and
gay. It's not.
a date and time. Ideally, trying to make it as good for as many people as possible. Obviously, it's unrealistic to make it fit for everyone if there's a lot of you. But you should still ask people if they're available. Don't just say you have to be there.
I mean, it's not that hard. There's 5 of us, and like,
Well, that shouldn't.
like not all of us work.
Time
either.
zones?
Huh?
Time zones?
No, all from the UK.
Okay, then that's easy.
Yeah, it's easy, but no, he's just turned around and said, "Oh yeah, 6 p.m. Wednesday." I'm like,
because I know with some of the things, I know with some things on like things like Twitch and YouTube, when people have servers or chat mods, they're all in different countries. In which case, having a meeting like that would be complicated because of the time zones.
yeah, I mean, it's like my best friend that I stream with more than anybody else. I'm well, obviously I'm from Britain. He's from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to like stay in contact and stuff. And like, if he wants me in his stream, he lets me know. And if I want him in my stream, I let him know.
Yeah, and there's a fairly big time difference there. So, because what you'll find here for that one, people, for those of you unaware, is pretty much for us here in the UK. If it's nighttime, it's morning in Australia. Essentially. So it can be a bit tricky, and of course the other way around is if it's morning here, it's nighttime there. So it can be weird.
Yep, it really can.
Of course, if you're not working, it does make it easier, but a lot of people also have things they're doing as well. So it does make it harder.
Yeah, it does.
So it's, I mean, to give an example, people, if somebody came to me like that and said, you have to turn this meeting on this day, I'd be like, no. You need to clear that with me first before you set that up if you want me to be there, because I have clients.
I mean, it's not only the fact that I've got that I could be working, which I am.
Yeah.
It's the fact that I like have other commitments. I'm a carer. I'm not just a streamer. Like if I was just a streamer and like I didn't have like commitments with my mum and stuff, then sure, why not? Drop me like any detail you want. I'll help you.
Yeah. Also,
it's not the case.
Also, there's those things. Also, there's the added fact of Wednesdays you normally stream as well.
Yeah.
So you've also got to bear in mind that the people who follow your streams and assume you're going to stream on that day. You want to make sure you want to obviously use, if as much as you can, obviously be there for them as well, because people like reliability. If you do things frequently, it makes it much easier for people. You don't want to be going, I can't do this day, I can't do this day, and you don't want to keep doing it because that's not a good thing.
No, and like people like not repetitiveness. They like
routine.
Yeah, routine, consistency.
Yeah.
It's just like when we schedule this, if I need like an extra half an hour or anything, I don't go off the deep end and say, oh yeah, can you give me another 2 hours? Like I try and stay as close to the wire as possible. Like half an hour isn't going to matter either way. Like
No.
15 minutes isn't going to matter. But if I said to you, oh yeah, I need an extra hour and a half, I'd at least give you 48 hours notice, so that way you could tell everybody and like get it out on social media.
Yeah. In your case, you tell me as far in advance as you can, which that's fair enough. There are times, of course, where things happen, which that's okay. Because there's times I've
Yeah.
done the show on my own before because it was necessary. It's not an issue.
Yeah, I mean, like,
but that's also communication because I knew beforehand.
yeah, and like I'm not somebody who just like turns around and like likes dropping things at the last minute. Like if I can't do anything and it's the last minute, you know how much I hate like letting people down.
Yeah, it's a thing for you. So yeah.
Yeah, once I commit to something, I do it. Otherwise, I get pissed off.
Yeah. Well, if you actually care about the commitments and arrangements you make with people, generally you will feel that way. So yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, like if so, I don't get how people can like say they're going to do one thing and then just do the complete opposite. It just doesn't make sense. Just like if you say that you're going to be somewhere at a certain time and place, do it. Don't change your mind last minute and go, oh, I can't be bothered.
Yeah. I mean, there's flaking, and then of course, as we mentioned before, sometimes there's legitimate reason for stuff. In which case, nobody will ever mind that because that's just something that happens.
Yeah.
But communication's a good thing.
It is.
So, yeah. Unlike WWE's booking committee, who don't seem to communicate at all.
No.
So, yeah. Next thing I have up on my list is Alpha Academy against RK Bro.
Yeah.
This was for the tag team titles, by the way, for benefit of their viewers.
Yeah.
And as you can tell by Aaron's responses, he was really impressed and happy about this.
No.
No, he was not. To cut a long story short, because I'm going to, we have new champions, Alpha Academy.
This
and that's
sucks.
Okay, he does have an opinion. I was curious because I thought you were going to say anything then for a minute.
This sucked. This sucked so hard. I mean, good match. Ish. But yeah, this sucked.
Are you going to tell us why it sucked, or is it just it sucks?
I like RK Bro. Like, it sucked for me.
Right. So the reason it sucks for you is because RK Bro lost the titles, basically.
Yeah, I mean, like, me personally as a fan, I think this sucked because I like RK Bro. But also, it's just, I don't know. It felt like RK Bro were out of their depth from the get-go. There wasn't no spark for RK Bro throughout this entire match. I mean, it started off okay with Riddle and Gable because it was all mat-based and it actually worked well because both of them have got amateur backgrounds and stuff, so it was fine. But then, like the miss tag from Otis to Gable that actually got this like new champions. Really? It's like it was a blind tag, and like you could tell that the referee didn't see it. So for me, it just didn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Nope. But the reason why I asked you to be more specific about what you meant is that lets the viewers know why your reason for saying it sucked, whether it was just an in general thing or whether there's something specific about it. Because it helps them to know what exactly. Okay. It helps them to know that, is my point.
Yeah, I know.
So, I don't think you're wrong.
But this was actually Otis's first championship in WWE. So congratulations to him for that.
And Gable's
third.
Yep.
Because he was NXT Tag Team Champion, he was SmackDown Tag Team Champion, and now he's been Raw Tag Team Champion.
With who?
Hmm?
Name all the people he won the title with. Go on.
Kurt Angle's son.
Name?
I forgot.
No, that's not his name.
I generally forgot.
Okay, so the other one?
I thought it was the same dude, Jason Jordan.
That is the dude, yes, you got that one.
I thought it was the same guy in NXT.
You're forgetting someone.
Am I?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Because it's actually 4, not 3.
Oh. Okay.
Any idea?
Who's the other one?
So you can't remember, no?
No, I can't remember.
Glorious.
Oh, Robert Roode.
Yep.
I completely forgot that was him. He had a haircut.
Mm-hmm.
Because that makes a whole lot of difference these days.
Yeah, right. It's not like he dyed his hair or anything.
I can't remember if he did or not.
No, he didn't. But it's not like anyone on this show dyes their hair, is it?
No. I'm naturally ginger.
Now, what that is he forgets it's the wrong time of the month and he goes a bit too far down. And that is a joke for adult viewers.
Yummy.
Okay. So now we covered the tag title match, so on to the next thing.
Yeah, the pre-match segment between Priest and the Prophets with. I mean, it was a good segment between Priest and the Prophets, but like, why was this happening? Like Priest and the Prophets versus Dirty Dogs and Apollo. It made no sense.
You're right. It didn't. Made no sense whatsoever.
Just like, why?
And you know what made less sense?
The fact that they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Although it still makes more sense than what happens in a bit. The next
Yeah.
two things on my list make less sense, but we'll get to those.
Then we got a SmackDown recap of the Universal title picture, which led to a Seth Rollins segment, which in a way kind of made sense because obviously with Rollins in the Universal title picture, but at the same time, no, it didn't.
It makes more sense than some of the stuff on this show.
Well, that's not
And
very
it's-
hard, is it?
And it definitely makes more sense than the match Rollins is about to have.
Yeah, 100%. And that match was against
Biggie!
the former WWE champion.
Not that you'd know it from the way they're booking him.
Yeah, it's tragic. Really is.
Do you think Kofi's looking at that thinking,
That
that
used to
looks
be me.
familiar? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's every chance that Kofi's thinking that.
I reckon Xavier Woods is looking on going, no, it's all right, I don't want a belt.
No, I'll stick with my crown. Even though I'm wearing it on the toilet at home at the moment because I'm injured.
And appearing on YouTube gamer shows, apparently.
Yeah, that's nothing new though. He usually does.
Yeah, he's appeared in a couple of really bad ones, but that's another subject.
Well, is there such a thing as a good YouTube show?
We're a YouTube show, you dummy.
I know. I was more talking about YouTube gamer shows.
To be fair, I don't watch them, so I don't know.
It's a grey area.
There's a couple of things that happened on one particular channel,
Oh, they didn't
Like
get his
a-
rated R video up, did they?
which I got told about, and I was like, ooh. I don't know if it's the one he appeared on, to be honest, but this particular channel, I heard what happened on this channel. I was like, oh no.
Oh dear, one of them, is it?
Well, it depends on your point of view, I guess. But for me, it was a case of, why would you do
Ooh.
that?
Oh.
It was more of a case of they took a big shot at their audience.
Oof.
It's like, that was smart. Never.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll put it out there. I don't care what anyone's opinion is. I welcome your opinions. Not got an issue with anyone's opinion. You just can't tell me what mine is.
No.
That's how it goes. I'm also going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what yours is either. I can give advice, suggestions, maybe. I'm not going to tell you. That's not my place.
No. And I'm exactly the same.
Yeah, and on this particular show, somebody tried to tell people what they should be and what they should think, which I'm not a fan of. So yeah. So, but
What
there
made
you
no
go.
sense about this segment though
Yes.
was Big E challenged Seth to a match, and Seth said no. And then Big E said, "Oh yeah, I challenge you to a match right here, right now." And Seth went, "You're on." It was like,
So Seth said no if it was later. Is what
Yeah.
you get. Is what you get from that.
yeah, and I was just like, am I having a stroke? Did that change that quickly, or is just like, am I having a funny 5 minutes? Because I mean, I have not been sleeping very well lately. I'm having a seizure. Just give me like 5 minutes.
It makes more sense if it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Because if he says no to an immediate fight, but accepts a later fight, I understand that. That makes more sense. But this didn't.
This did not. Like, at all.
No. I'll say this now. Don't have a problem with Seth. I think Seth's a good good wrestler. They probably go as far as possibly great a lot of the time. But this is not the match that should be going on right now because Big E does not need to keep losing, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and the way he lost as well.
Yeah.
Just tragic.
But to be fair to these two, at least they want the segment that's coming up in a minute.
Depends what segment you're on about, really.
Because there is a worse segment to come.
Is there?
Nikki and Rhea.
Oh, yeah. I thought you was on about a certain person's return with Dr. Shelby that didn't get called by me at all last week.
It certainly did. We was going to touch upon that when we got to it.
But yeah, we have other things to talk about first.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this match between Seth and Big E was good. Obviously, with the talent in the ring, no problem with the match. It just sucked that Big E lost again.
Yeah, these two would actively have to not try for this to be bad.
Yeah, and the fact that they made the win over Big E look so easy as well was really damaging to a former WWE champion.
It is. I mean, there will be somebody who will come up with the argument, well, you got to make Seth look strong for the Universal title match. Or you make Seth look strong by having him have a hard fought match against a former champion. That's how you make him look strong. Beat somebody quickly and easily is not impressive in this instance.
I will counter that just by saying one thing. What future champion? What previous champion? Because yeah, but what previous champion could they use instead of Big E? Because there aren't that many in the roster.
No, I'm talking about in this match. For this, if you're going to have these two fight each other,
yeah,
it's a former champion, so you can make him look more impressive by having Big E push him and he overcomes Big E, because then it's a short victory as opposed to whatever the hell this was.
No, yeah, this was like a lay on your own sword match.
Yeah, but to be fair though, if he is going to have this match, meaning Rollins actually have a match, it shouldn't have been against Big E, in my personal opinion. There are other people, not many, of course, because budget cuts, that you could actually have him have a match with.
Yeah, and like a former champion of some sort. Doesn't even have to be like a WWE champion. It could be like a former Intercontinental champion. Have him fight Apollo instead of the bullshit tag team match that we had. There
you go. That works.
Or like, I don't know, AJ Styles. Get him in a match with AJ Styles instead of like having AJ Styles lose his shit to like whoever he fought on Monday.
Theory.
Yeah.
Which comes up later. But the thing with AJ and Theory, there was a reason that happened when it did and why, but again,
shit.
It still made more sense than this did, though.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Because of what they're trying to do with it, it made more sense. That's my point.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So it's still dumb and stupid, and me personally, I think it's dumb and stupid, and I wouldn't have done it. But at least I understand what they're trying to do with it. At least,
yeah,
it makes sense at least, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, and I disliked it.
Yeah,
very much.
Mm-hmm. So, following on from the Big E Rollins match, we have
Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley segment. Don't even.
I will say this here and now. Worst segment of the week.
Ooh. That's a tough claim because there was some shit.
There was, to be fair.
Well, yeah, I'll give it to you.
I think this just edges it though, considering
Yeah.
the talent involved as well. I mean, it's just bad. Because
I'd say bad is pretty
generous.
Generous, yeah.
Yeah. I know. I was trying to be kind about it, but the absolute truth is, it was god fucking horrible.
It was worse than dog shit.
Yeah.
It was on the borderline of complete and utter bollocks.
Yeah. And to be very clear about this, we are not blaming the talent. This is not the talent's fault at all.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But we'll just make this we'll just do this very shortly, because we don't want to prolong this, because this would be annoying otherwise. Nikki and Rhea come out. Nikki starts to say that she wants a tag title shot, and Rhea's like, no, we're announcing for the Rumble. And basically they have a little yada yada yada, and then Nikki just smacks her one.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
I don't get how Rhea's supposed to work as the victim when she's the badass in this team. It really doesn't work with her character.
I would buy this more if Nikki was still Sanity Nikki, not I wish I was a superhero Nikki.
Yeah.
Although it looks like she's aspiring to be a supervillain. So she should actually be ASV.
And that sounds like a... Well...
You can say it.
An STD.
Yeah. But obviously this is going to be a thing now, but this segment was god fucking terrible. It was awful, worse than dog shit. Again, this is purely the fault of the people writing this. This has nothing to do with either one of these women. They are both great wrestlers and deserve better than this shit.
And like great talents overall as well, to be fair. But oh well, we digress.
Yeah. Next thing I have on here is Omos.
We had a 24/7 championship segment before that, but it was really shitty boring.
Yeah, hence Omos. And this is like I thought you'd find funny, but because when I check up on the results for these sort of things, right? Because if it's like a somebody people aren't going to be familiar with, or they've got somebody off the independent circuit, stuff like that, I try and find out the names of the people.
Are you talking about Nick Sanderson?
Okay, yeah, but I'm going to get onto something quite funny about this. On WWE.com, when they list the results for these things, he's called local competitor.
What?
They didn't even name him.
Why? Did he not want to be named? Was that it?
I don't know.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm glad you actually knew what his name was, but yeah.
They did say it on television.
That makes it worse.
Yeah. Really does.
So essentially, we've had 3 bad things in a row here.
Mm-hmm.
This
match wasn't much better. Let's be honest.
I'm including the match as well.
Good. We don't have to talk about it then.
It's what you'd expect. Omos wins, blood done. Right. Okay, next.
He doesn't even win with a hint of style. He just wins.
That was more. I brought that particular thing up more to do with the fact of WWE.com not even putting the guy's name up there.
To be honest, if I was the guy, I wouldn't want my name up there either.
It'd be like one of those. If you direct a film and you really don't like the film, you can get your name taken off it, and they put up a different, like a pseudonym name instead.
Yeah.
And it tells people that the person who originally directed this film disowned the film, essentially.
Yeah.
So do you think local competitor is WWE's version of I disown this match?
Yeah, I disown this put over.
Do you think Big E should have done it?
With his title run, yeah, probably.
I meant with the Seth match as well, but yeah. But anyway, that on my list brings us up to AJ Styles versus Austin Theory.
Oh boy.
We kind of alluded to this already, so
It wasn't exactly great.
Right. WWE officially lists this as a no contest.
I literally have that written down here. I was just like, the way this ended, I was just like, let me guess, no contest?
Exactly right. Although if you watch the match, it's quite clear it's a disqualification.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good match between Austin and AJ.
Yeah.
Fucking Waller had to fucking turn up, didn't he?
Yeah. Again, this wasn't that surprising considering they're building to a match that those two were going to have on NXT.
Which was shit.
Oh, don't worry, we're going to get to that too. Remember, we do review that show.
Do we have to? Because it was shit.
we still have to do it.
Fuck.
There's more stupid shit that happens on NXT though than just that. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, isn't there just?
So yeah, that's basically what happens there. Main event time. We get the women. Yay! But before we get to that, I alluded to it earlier, and we'll do it now. Dr. Shelby.
Called it.
Yes, you did. You may want to go into more detail about what you called, though, for anyone who didn't catch what you said last week.
Well, I said that Bliss would be in a doctor's office and the doctor would introduce himself as like Dr. Shelby or someone else and said basically psychologically evaluating Alexa, and Alexa just doesn't give two shits and fiends out. And what happened? Exactly that.
Yeah.
This was a copy and paste job of Team Hell No.
Yeah. Do you want to know something really funny? Or it might make you cringe. Better. Or it might make you cringe, depending. After this showed, so many people I know said she's going to win the Rumble.
I've heard exactly the same.
It's a redemption story.
Yeah, but it's not though, is it?
No. And I will say this now. Poor Alexa. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we thought she was going to be out of this fiend-like character thing.
Nope.
But no.
You did. I hoped she would be, but I didn't think she would be.
No, I didn't think she would. I hoped she would. But she isn't, so. the amount of cares I really give right now about WWE is just being literally just above zero.
Yeah, it's a case of
Oops. I mean, like, you remember when you first met me? I was like an avid WWE fan.
Oh yeah, couldn't shut you up for it.
Yeah, it's like one of the only things that we actually spoke about. And now it's just still basically the only thing that we really talk about, except for like work and stuff, and check in, see how each other are and how our families are and stuff. But
well, we're both very busy. That's why that happens. It's one of those.
yeah,
because it's a matter of time constraints.
But like now, it's just with WWE, it's just boring.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate as well because it's like I would like it to be good.
Yeah, well, I think the general audience would.
I mean, it's no secret. Most anyone who knows me knows pretty much what I watch nowadays when it comes to actually properly paying attention.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's the same case for me now too.
I got you. I got you.
You can't take all the credit.
I'm not taking all the credit.
Boredom can take most of it, to be honest.
Yeah, the fact is, I played a part in that, so I'm claiming it as a victory.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's right or it's true, but I'm claiming it.
It makes sense.
So, but like going back to what I was saying before, people make their own decisions. It's their choices. All I've ever explained to Aaron was, this is why I like this. I think this is fun. You may like it. And then, of course, his favourite wrestler turned up there. Kind of made it easier.
I mean, I didn't really have much of a choice after that happened.
Yeah, the very next time I spoke to him afterwards, I was just laughing because I knew that's it.
He didn't even need to ask if I'd watched AEW.
Nope.
He just turned around and said, "So, do you see Malachi?" I was like, "Yep."
Yeah, it's just one of those things. But I honestly would like WWE to be better than it is. Doesn't have to be like AEW. In fact, I prefer it not to be like AEW because variety would be good.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an alternative for a reason.
Yeah. I don't want all the wrestling I watch to be the same. I like variety. I like a buffet, which is one of the reasons I like AEW because there's different things that go on. WWE can do similar things, but in their own style, and that's a different thing too, which I could get on with that. Occasionally, I catch New Japan, which again, different style. That's fun to watch as well. Impact, different style again.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can watch GCW and watch Jeff Jarrett smash people with guitars. Which he's been doing randomly, which apparently is going to lead to something, but we'll see. It could be fun. Yeah. We will talk about the main event of Raw, and then I'm going to talk about something which relates to a former WWE guy. I'm going to mention it here because I think it's relevant. So, and we'll get on to why in a minute. But the main event of Raw was obviously the women. Yay!
Yay! This was really.
Talk about things that people called.
Yeah. Didn't we both call this? Or was
We
it
did.
You?
We did.
Oh, no.
I did it first, but you did agree.
I'm glad that this happened.
Yeah.
It's just shit how it happened.
Yeah, it made the most sense, honestly, as a result. With what they're doing, it does, yes. Because you know whoever's going to fight Becky at the Rumble isn't winning.
Yeah.
That's why it makes the most sense. And for me personally, I would like to see a fight. Pipe in the mid. I think it's interesting.
There's Battle of Two Celts.
They could give us something different, which I'm a big fan of. We kind of touched on that just now. But the match in question was a triple threat, which was Piper Niven, Liv Morgan, and Bianca Belair.
All three women in this match had a great showing. I will say that.
Which is good. That's what we like.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was like full to the brim of like decent moments and parts.
Yep.
The only thing was though that like it felt like how do I put this without sounding like really judgy?
Do it. Just sound judgy. It's fine.
It sounded like Doudrop was like out of her weight class.
In what sense?
Like Liv and Bianca were really, really involved in the match. There was loads of moments with them in the match, but there wasn't a lot of Doudrop.
Okay.
Or Piper. It just seemed like she stole it. And I mean, with the setup, like I guess that's kind of how it was meant to look. But at the same time, you're making her a little weak, and you're having a challenge for the Raw Women's Championship.
Well, look at it this way. When it comes to main roster matches in WWE, she's had the fewest out of the people in this match. Okay. I think she has. Liv said
yeah.
Right. And so it's Bianca for that, man. But Piper, in this situation, what you could possibly do with her would be to make her look smart because she's not been involved in everything, but then she manages to win. So you can make her look intelligent by doing this. It's something they could do. Whether they do it or not, I don't know. But you could look. It could be looked upon that way.
Yeah, I guess.
Because a lot of time with triple threat matches, Baron Corbin's a big one for this, right? Whether you like him or not, he's very good at triple threat matches because he can always do that last minute steal the win thing, and you just think, what a bastard, because that's what he does. He's very good at it. Whether you like him or not as a wrestler is not the point. It's something he's very good at doing, and this could be something similar possibly for Piper. I don't know if that's what they're doing, of course, but it's something. But I also like the fact that she won because she won, which I like that. Big fan of that. But at the same time, wouldn't have had an issue if any of these women had won this match, honestly.
No, that's understandable.
But I get to see Piper versus Becky. So, I'm quite happy about that. That's fine by me.
Yeah.
And that's Raw, ladies and gentlemen.
Raw.
Which means Aaron has got to give us a grade once he stops playing video games.
5.
Cool. What are you playing?
I'm Minecraft. I got really focused on doing something that I was doing on my stream, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it.
I understand that. Was this the stream yesterday, or did I see you did one earlier?
No, this was the stream on Wednesday.
Okay.
It's like, when you start editing a picture and you just you can't stop. You're in that frame of mind, you need to edit something else now.
Well, I do. That's what I do. I edit in blocks.
Yeah. But when you're in that like feeling and you're just like, yeah, I'm in full on like edit mode right now.
Yeah.
That's like me when I'm on Minecraft. Like I'm on full out builder mode now. I have to like carry on building. I have to finish what I was doing.
The thing is, I don't know if it'd be the same as what you do, but when I edit a picture, it's a case of it needs editing. But I also don't particularly like. That's the one thing about what I do I don't particularly enjoy doing. So it's more a case of I want to get it done as well. I want it out the way.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's kind of that for me, but it's not.
Yeah, I don't think it. I was gonna say I'm not sure it'd be exactly the same for you because you actually enjoy playing the game. So I, for a large part, do not enjoy editing. It's a necessary evil of what I do, but I don't really enjoy it.
No.
But I suspect you enjoy playing Minecraft, which is why it's different.
Yeah and no.
I'm sure it gets frustrating at times, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So, because you still want to be doing it and you actually enjoy it, even though it's frustrating you. There are times I'll be doing pictures and I'll be like, I don't want to do this.
No, I mean there's sometimes when when I die and like I have to start again. Like what I was doing, if I die in lava and I lose all my tools and stuff like that, and like I've worked my ass off for those tools.
The floor is lava.
And like they all burn in the lava and like die, I'd just be like real uptight about it.
Yeah.
But
That's fair enough. So, obviously, for those of you who want to follow along with what Aaron does, such things, he streams Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, and different things on each day. As I'm guessing, Minecraft would be Wednesday from that conversation we just had.
Yeah, and Zombies is on Saturday, and Fortnite is on Mondays.
Yeah. So we'll
do the odd stream every now and then as well.
Yeah, we'll bring up the details. We will bring up the details for those things at the end of the show. And go from there. So, we have to do NXT now, Aaron. So.
Liv had new music this week as well. So did a few people.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's just one thing that I forgot to mention.
It was that memorable though that it didn't stick in your mind.
What the
music? Yeah.
I mean, it was nice enough. It just wasn't my kind of thing.
Yeah, my point being, normally if something's like made enough of an impact, you'll generally remember that looking at the notes because it does happen with you, but it wasn't one of those.
Yeah, I mean, Dewdrop's music keeps on constantly changing, and there's like little bits and pieces that change, but like,
and it's still crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for her to actually like get rid of the Dewdrop, like.
Yeah, well, you know my feelings on the subject. I've not hidden them at all. I refuse to refer to her by that name.
Yeah.
Because I think it's insulting, that name.
Mm-hmm.
Amongst other things.
Well, it made me kind of like laugh about it was when Eva Marie got released, she got interviewed and she said that she apologizes so much to Piper for having to give her that name.
Yeah.
Because she said it's one of the biggest things that she regrets.
when you have somebody like Eva Marie even telling you it's bad,
Yeah.
it kind of tells you a lot. But yeah. Anyway, we're on to NXT now. So the program starts with, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Breaker.
Yeah, new champion.
Basically, he did the Vara speech essentially. Champion was a good champion, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be a good champion, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough. It's the kind of thing you'd expect from a new champion, especially a face one, which is what he is.
Mm-hmm.
No wrong with it. It's
No.
okay. Okay. Kind of surprised nobody came out and challenged him, though. But there you go.
Yeah, it was a bit dead. But saying that, when Santos Escobar came out, they did eye up each other a bit.
Yeah.
But it was more of a subtle hint than a full frontal, I want your belt challenge.
I thought he was going somewhere different with that comment just then.
Yeah, well.
Well, you said he eyed him up, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was followed by, as Aaron points out, Escobar come out here, and Zion Quinn would come out as well, and they would have a match.
Yep.
Which,
and I mean, the match itself wasn't that bad.
wait. Officially, this was for the hand of Lopez.
Electra Lopez.
Yeah. That's kind of.
Yeah. I mean, Santos wanted to keep it in the family, I guess.
Yeah, but there's also the fact of, one, they've not built this up to be an actual thing.
No, this is like Index 2.0, but rushed.
Yeah. So,
like, terribly rushed.
Yeah. Let's cut a long story short. Escobar won the match.
Yeah, due to a low by Electra.
Yeah. Which she did to Quinn. Makes sense, because I don't really see why Quinn would want her, considering he's married.
Yeah.
Something which has been mentioned on NXT television before, by the way.
Yep. But we digress.
Yeah. Do we have a segment now, or do we go? Or is there just straight to the match that follows?
Tony D'Angelo talking about 16 different ways to use a crowbar.
Oh yeah.
Saying he only needs 3. I mean, it's kind of like a New Yorker's way of saying you got 99 problems, but a gun ain't one. But yeah, Tony D'Angelo version. I've got 16 ways to use this crowbar, and I only need 3.
This was dumb.
Yeah. I mean, this segment was okay, to be honest. But like, I was more interested in the match than anything else.
Yeah.
Then we had a Cameron Grimes segment repeat of last week's package about him eyeing up gold. Then we had Mandy Rose in a segment which was okay, but just seemed a bit flashy, to be honest. I mean, like, she's been showing more skin than she's been showing up at NXT.
That's a gimmick, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like, really, I don't like it. It's like, it makes Mandy look like a prize cow, and I hate that reference. But
okay. What I'll say for this, okay, I'm not saying I like it or dislike it. That's not the point. What I'd say, possibly in defense of this, is I, for one, like variety on what I watch. It's something different. Whether you like it or not is up to you. But at least she's not like every other woman on the roster.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with being like every other woman in the roster.
Yes, there is.
To a certain degree, yes.
And when it comes to wrestling, yeah, because you don't want to be like other people, because you want to stand out. Because that's how people notice you. Also, she's currently a heel, so she's also needs to be slightly obnoxious, which is what this also leads into as well.
I wouldn't say that this makes her obnoxious, but I can see what you mean.
Yeah. But as I said before, it doesn't mean you have to like it or dislike it. That's completely a personal choice. I don't mind her being like this, but at the same time, I can see why people don't like it. So, but as I said, in defense of the gimmick, at least it's not a copy and cut of the other women on the roster.
Well, no, because that wouldn't really work, because we've met Mandy Rose already.
Yeah, but this is my point. You don't really want every other woman also having this gimmick, or her to have the same gimmick as Indy Hartwell or Dakota Kai or Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by it.
No, I get it.
So, but that's why I don't have too much of an issue with her being that way. But that's my own personal opinion. But as I said before, whether you like it or dislike it is up to you. That's not my call as to what you should like and dislike. I'm just telling you why I don't have a problem with it. Doesn't mean I like it though. Doesn't mean I dislike it. I'm just trying to explain why I think I don't have an issue with it.
No.
So there we go. That brings us to the Grimes match now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cameron Grimes in a match against Damien Kemp.
Damon Kemp, yeah.
Damian Kemp, with the way it's spelled on the WWE website.
The woman announced it as Damon Kemp, so
I'm just telling you what it was on the website. So
it was, his name wasn't televised. He didn't come up on the TV, so
okay. For people who may not be aware, this is Gabriel Stevenson's brother. Yeah.
Which made this more interesting than I expected, to be honest.
Yeah. So, I mean, Grimes won.
Yeah, I mean, I do have a question though. Is Kemp a local talent or a WWE signee?
He's one of those who's sort of being considered for that program thing they're doing.
Yeah, because I mean, he held his own against Grimes.
Yeah.
I mean, the cave into the face was like something a bit more vicious we haven't seen from Grimes before.
Yeah.
Which might be a sign of a bit of character developing, especially with him going up to Carmelo later on in the show as well.
Yeah. When it comes to professional in-ring wrestling, he's probably further along than his brother is right now.
Yeah.
His brother's very good at amateur, but he's not ready for professional yet.
No.
But he's further along with professional, as you clearly saw in the match.
Yeah. It was well done. It was clean. And like he had some good moments in it too.
Yeah.
So it's like can't really fault him for anything that happened during the match.
No, he made a good counting for himself. Never a bad thing.
Yeah, and against Grimes of all people as well, with like Grimes's status in the company at the moment.
Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of people be like, it was his first televised appearance and he lost. Yeah, I generally do have an issue with that as well. That's the one thing I would have an issue with this about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same. I don't like that he lost either, but it was against Grimes, so you can't really have Grimes losing when he's saying that he's going for gold this year.
Because I was going to bring up my counterpoint to this as well. That's my usual point, but my counterpoint to it is good wrestlers can lose to good wrestlers. And as long as it's done in a good way, it's not a problem.
And this was done in a pretty decent manner. It wasn't the worst. And their respect was shown afterwards as well.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Yeah, I think it works.
I mean, if this was a match against anybody else, say Boa or someone, like, I'd understand. Well, Boa's probably a bad example.
It is a very bad example, considering what happens later. But as far as Grimes goes, you don't have a point, because Grimes has a clear path they're putting him on and where he's heading to.
Yeah.
So this is fine for this, because he's clearly on a trajectory to get somewhere. And
for the lack of a better term, it's a unicorn moment. It's one of those rarities where it's okay.
Yeah, which does happen. There are times it's okay for this to happen. But generally, if you're going to debut a new talent, you generally don't want them to lose.
No. But he did have a very, very good showing. Like, he pushed Grimes to his limit almost.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. You can put in a performance like that, even if you still lose, you're still okay because of what you did.
Yeah.
Because sometimes good wrestlers lose to good wrestlers. There's no shame in it.
No.
Also, not a schoolboy roll-up.
And not a half-cocked schoolboy roll-up either.
Yeah. So that's always a plus.
Yeah.
But we'll probably see more of Mr. Kemp, I'm guessing, which is not a bad thing.
No, I mean, he could probably fit in nicely in the tag division if there was, like, a partner of his choosing. Hey, put him with his brother. It would be good.
When his brother's ready, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, brothers have had a history of good tag teams. So even if you look in the main roster.
Well, I can do, yeah, definitely. So certainly something to explore.
Yeah, definitely.
So next thing I have is a tag match. Was there something in between that?
There was the Joe Gacy and Harland segment talking about the Dusty Cup, as well as like saying that they were glad that they got this opportunity, which was obviously the next match, to try and get a buy-in into the Dusty Cup tournament. It was all right. It made sense, but it was just kind of pointless after what happened in the match.
I was going to get to that, and obviously you just mentioned it. Yeah, it was good. It was good until the result of the match.
Yeah, and before the match happened, though, we had a announcement from the commentary table where Von Wagner was fined and suspended because of what happened last week when he attacked a member of the WWE Universe. But I'll talk about this now, so that way we don't have to cover it later. Later on in the show, it went back to commentary, and they said that his fine had been paid and his suspension had been lifted by an unknown source.
Yeah.
I don't know who this was. I've tried to look into it. I've asked around, and I've had no dice on the subject.
Ketchup.
Huh?
Think about what you said.
No dice.
No, before then.
I've looked around.
Well, you're talking about this came from an unknown source.
Yeah.
Ketchup.
Haha, mustard.
There you go. Brown sauce.
Curry sauce.
Onion sauce.
Burger King. Burger sauce.
Mayonnaise.
Onion chutney.
Oh, bollocks. I'm running out of sauces. I don't know that many. Cream sauce.
Hollandaise.
Cheese sauce.
Custard.
Okay, I think we've gone far enough with that one anyway, but they're all equally as likely at this point because we have no idea who this would have been. That's the joke.
Yeah, that is the joke.
If for anyone who can't work out why we're just naming sauces randomly. Because that's probably what's happening to the WWE creative team trying to work out who actually fucking did this.
Because, I mean, we don't know. None of our sources know if...
We
I
just
mean,
asked
I
them.
looked into it.
We just asked them all when they just said nothing.
Nah. I gotta, I know nothing. I know nothing.
Not a ting. I've not heard anything, no. But to be fair, I've also not looked into it either, so...
I've looked into it and I've asked a couple of people that I normally get my insights from, and there is a rumor going around that Von Wagner is getting a mouthpiece. However,
Is it to shut him up?
no, it's not to shut him up, and unfortunately, it's not confirmed yet who the mouthpiece will be.
Well, we know who it's not.
I mean, the way that he appeared recently on that episode of SmackDown, Adam Pearce?
It's not... Oh, I was going to say it's not Kyle O'Reilly.
No. Wow, you really found that funny, didn't you?
Not really. But to be honest, Von Wagner stuff kind of bores me, so I just have to amuse myself.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't even really think it's his fault. I just think he's just badly used.
Yeah. Understandable.
I also think, like a lot of these people, he wasn't ready for this.
No.
They've pushed him forward too soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Talking about a lot of the 2.0 people. The only 2.0 person who was probably really ready for this was Breaker.
I don't know. Because,
although, to be fair, Tony D'Angelo.
I mean, Strong and Ciampa. And
They're not 2.0. I mean, actual 2.0 guys.
Oh, like newbies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say Tony D'Angelo maybe. Waller at a push, but
I can see it. Yeah. Would I personally say it? No, but I can see why people would.
yeah, I'm just thinking because of star power and, well, fame. Not that he has any actual star power, but like the way he's been built up.
The build probably more than anything. Yeah, I would definitely put Breaker and D'Angelo above him though easily.
Yeah, to a certain degree.
Oh, I would, because both of them have actually had storylines and actually do wrestle properly.
Ooh.
So yeah, Waller's a pussy.
I heard he might be injured, by the way.
Oh no! Such a shame.
I don't know for certain, so don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, Aaron knows my mock concern voice. For anyone who's not aware.
I mean, I really should. I've known you long enough, and you've used it more than enough times on me.
Yeah, but to be fair, I have to teach people my mock concern voice because if they don't understand what it is, they think I'm serious.
Yeah. Even though Peter never would wish harm on any like WWE superstar, I'm pretty sure that
No.
Waller could possibly be an exception.
I won't wish harm on any of them, to be perfectly honest. I just want them to be better. That's literally it.
Yeah, you're like water. You just want it. You just want it to be better.
Yeah. You know. And the problem is with some of these people, it's not even their fault, which is what makes it worse.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the performer's fault, that's one thing. But a lot of these people are hindered by the fact of it's just bad creative, which is not their fault, and there's nothing they can do about that.
No. Which sucks.
Which, to be fair to Waller, he probably falls into that category.
I don't know, because he's born and bred WWE, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's not ready for what has been asked of him, is my point.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like Von Wagner, that both of them fall into that category for me. They are not ready to be pushed to where they are.
I feel like the way that Waller's been used, though, with AJ Styles, that he's actually kind of got more experience in the last, 3 weeks than he probably had at the start, in the past 2 months.
Oh, it certainly helped him as far as, promos and talking and stuff. But in ring, he's still well off. But
yeah.
To be fair, this is also a what the hell do they call it? It's a learning brand.
Learning curve.
Yeah, but specifically NXT, it's the developmental show.
Yeah, and Main Event and 205 Live have turned into NXT Black and Yellow, basically.
Well, 205 Live certainly has.
Well, definitely Main Event too, if you watched it this week.
I did not.
I'll touch on this now, being as we're talking about NXT and Black and Gold brand.
Yeah, for directly releasing, yeah.
Main Event this week showcased 3 people from NXT's Black and Gold brand in 2 different matches, and we had Dominik Dijakovic versus Tommaso Ciampa, and Tommaso Ciampa was really well received by the WWE universe and won against T-Bar.
You would think it would be. Also, Ciampa's also been on the main roster before.
Yeah.
So I think that helps him in that regard.
And he kind of had his psychopath vibe back because he was wearing trousers.
Have you seen the beard, by the way?
Yeah, it's black.
Yeah.
And Pete Dunne was in the main event against Akira Tozawa, and he absolutely destroyed him, and the crowd loved it.
Yeah, you would think they would, and I would think he would.
Yeah.
Respectively.
Tozawa was going, for a different reason.
Yeah, not because he chose to, because Pete Dunne made him.
Yeah. I think Tozawa would probably be in the medical office afterwards, having his fingers in a nice ice bath. All 10 of them. Because, Jesus. I have seen Pete Dunne in matches before, against certain people, but this was brutal.
Yeah, you say that. For anyone who's not seen him, watch some of his independent matches.
I have. And this was on the level.
Not the ones I've seen, because some of those are a lot worse.
Yeah.
So, I don't mean worse as in bad. I mean worse as in the kind of pain it looks like he's inflicting. Worse. Yeah. That's what I mean.
No, I know what you meant.
So that was also for the benefit of the viewers as well. So, we should get back to NXT though, rather than talking about NXT main event.
hmm
So, but it's interesting that they're doing that anyway.
I mean, I've been one to talk about this before. Like, obviously, Ciampa can't be on a full-time schedule on main roster.
Well, he doesn't want to be, which is the other thing.
Yeah, so him being put on main event is kind of like are they going to give him a schedule that fits him better?
The only issue I'd have with that is there's no way he fits the Vince type.
No, he doesn't.
So I would question them giving him any special treatment. Because if he was like, for instance, if he looked like Von Wagner, going back to something we talked about previously, then there'd be no issue with that. He'd get whatever he wanted.
Yeah,
But because Ciampa looks like Ciampa, he's not the Vince type.
Yeah.
So I kind of doubt he would get anything like that with the way they're moving.
But also bear in mind that Ciampa wasn't just in NXT. He was in WCW as well.
He was not. I checked.
No? I thought he was a manager.
Nope, I checked. Because when you mentioned that, I just looked into that and nope.
They talked about it at the Cruiserweight Classic.
Then they lie.
Huh. I'll be.
To be fair, it's not the first time WWE would have lied about something.
Hmm. Yeah. Wow.
Because, other companies the Ciampa's been in, for those of you who are interested, Ring of Honor and TNA.
Mm-hmm.
He was in WWE before.
All right.
Which
What did
was
he do there?
Well, he was there from 2005 to 2007.
Nice.
Where he competed under. He was actually one of the lawyers for Muhammad Hassan when he confronted the Undertaker.
Oh yeah, that's probably what I was getting confused with.
Yeah, so that's probably that would be the thing he would be most known for during that period.
Yeah, that's probably what I was getting confused with.
So, no worries, it happens. Sometimes I misremember stuff too. It's a thing. So, I think we all do.
It wasn't so much the fact that I misremembered it. It was more it was so long ago, and it was like a different thing.
No, well, that's what I mean by misremembering. Because when something's further back in time, it's not always easy to remember what it actually goes with.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's not a criticism.
No, it is what it is.
Yeah. It definitely is. So, anyway, tag match. Blade and Anofi versus Gacy and Holland.
This was shit.
Yep.
I mean, Winley gets in the Dusty Cup, and as soon as Harlan got in the match, it was over. But in the opposite way to what we was expecting.
Yeah, because of what they said before the match.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't really understand what we mean, Harland and Gacy lost this match.
Yeah. Because if you're going to do a promo like this before the match, don't lose.
Yeah. Because it makes no fucking sense. like at all.
So the client get back to me about the photos I sent them today.
Mm-hmm.
They're very happy, so it's good for me.
That's good.
Well, it was a wedding, which makes it even better.
Yeah.
So it was a wedding I did on Christmas Eve.
Cool.
So it was a Christmas themed wedding. So
You.
well, no, they were the bride really likes Christmas. It was like all Christmas decorations and stuff, candles and stuff. It's actually quite nice.
Yeah, my partner likes Christmas, but that's why we're having a wedding in September.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be with you in a second. I just need to go do something.
Okay.
Do. And back.
Whoa, you made me jump.
Yeah, sorry. That just had to speak to someone.
That's fine.
So, and yeah, it's one of those things I couldn't do on air, so it was better off not, obviously.
Yeah. So yeah, Holland and Gacy lost their match. Ridiculously enough.
Yeah.
Made no sense.
It was indeed.
But yeah, booking.
Yay, booking.
Yeah, do be like that. Apparently. This made even less sense than Alexa Bliss's segment on Raw. Seems possible. Seemed impossible at the time, but obviously it's not.
Mm-hmm. That is true. But yeah, it's definitely most things that really did suck.
Yeah.
So, gonna have to get back to it in a minute. Yeah. So there we go for that. Probably gonna have to pick up some speeder, I think, otherwise we're gonna be very late.
Yeah.
Next thing up is the crowbar and the pole match I have here, which is Tony D'Angelo against Pete Dunne.
Yep. Yeah. Safe to say that Harland isn't meant for the tag division.
No.
But yeah, next is Pete Dunne and Tony D'Angelo crowbar in a pole match. See, if it wasn't for Styles being on NXT this week, I would have said this would have been main event.
Yeah.
But as we know, he was, and yeah, it is what it is. And I liked this match. It was good. Except for, like, when the crowbar fell at one end and Dunn just stood and stared at the crowbar on the top rope for like 5 seconds. As if saying, oh, you weren't meant to fall down yet.
Oh, it's a crowbar. What is a crowbar?
But I mean, it's just one of them. It's just a risk with one of those, with these kinds of matches. What did you think of this match?
To be honest, I don't like things on a pole matches.
No. I mean, it made sense because of what's happened in the rivalry, but yeah, I'm with you. I don't like things on a pole matches.
In my case, I don't like them because I saw way too many of them because of Vince Russo. So
I mean, it's not the worst thing on a pole match I've seen.
no, I've seen much worse.
No, I mean I've seen a action figure's leg on a pole match. Yoshitatsu.
Viagra on a pole.
Not seen that one. That
I
doesn't
have.
sound like a match. That sounds like Vince McMahon's bedroom.
It was Vince Russo and it was in WCW.
What happened? Did the loser have to take it?
No, the winner gets the Viagra.
Why would you want to be in a match where you have to admit to using Viagra?
I will say this here to be perfectly blunt with people: there is no shame in anyone who has to use anyone who wants to use Viagra. You don't necessarily need Viagra to take it. I don't, in case you're wondering. But Viagra also has other uses other than just getting an erection. There are health issues it can actually help you with if you're a guy.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who may wonder, also if there's any ladies any chance by watching, thought I should explain that because I imagine most women associate Viagra with, oh, he needs to get his penis hard. Which, to be fair, that's probably what it is for most guys.
Yeah,
but there are other uses for Viagra.
Like 25% possibly.
Yeah, but there are other uses for it other than just getting your penis hard.
Mm-hmm.
What do you use it for,
Aaron? But
not memory, obviously. I say, what do you use Viagra for?
I don't.
There you go. See, easy enough.
Except when my TV's unbalanced and the box is just the right size to keep it level.
What do you usually use as a tripod? Fair enough.
When I'm tired and I can't be asked to use my hands to hold up my phone.
I thought you were going to say when you're tired and can't be bothered to stand up, you just kick out the old kickstand. So you can just be like this. The good old third leg and all that, right?
I'm pitching a tent in my bedroom.
Don't most guys. But anyway, it's the one thing as a guy we all do, whether you're straight or gay.
Yeah. This match basically was a game of crowbar, cat and mouse.
Yeah.
But after the crowbar assisted neck breaker that made Dunn kind of snap, and we had quite a physical match between the two, to be fair. It ended with Angelo winning after he straight hit Dunn in the face with the crowbar. I mean, this was okay, but like you could tell it was a prop because that if he actually hit Dunn in the face with a crowbar with that force, with a real crowbar, there'd have been bits of Dunn over there, over there, and over there.
It's one of the reasons I don't like these kind of matches because generally you have to use something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not, because it's wrestling, you're not using a real one.
What was actually pretty clever was that they used a real one to start off with, and they swapped it out for the last bit of the match.
Yeah, but I mean for the bit where you might end up using it on someone. That's what I'm referring to. The only way you could actually use a real one if you are going to hit someone, it would be if somebody's that precise with it, where they can still hit you but not actually cause you damage. But the risk is much greater
Mm-hmm.
because you've also got to rely upon the person being hit as well to know what the hell they're doing. I just basically it's the equivalent of stump fighting in the movies. Both people need to know what they're doing. It doesn't help if only one of them does.
Mm.
Because you've ever seen a really bad fight sequence in a movie? That's generally why.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what could have happened here. So, for that point of view, using a dummy one, I don't have an issue with, because for safety. But at the same time, I wouldn't have done this match. But there you go.
Mm.
But as you said, as far as the feud goes, I get it.
Yeah. Next, we had Grayson Waller in a segment which was okay. Overconfidence was kind of screaming, but it's Waller, so. Then we had Indy Protter and Chu in a segment which was funny, as Chu was in a onesie still, literally before the match was going to happen.
Well, do you remember what I said to you last week about when she wrestles?
Yeah.
This is what I want.
Then we had Mandy showing even more skin in another bikini in another segment,
Mm-hmm.
which was just pointless unless you like seeing that on a regular basis. Yeah. Then we had Chu and Indy and Peralta versus Miller, Carter, and Catanzaro.
I will clarify that, by the way. I enjoy seeing beautiful people, but that's it. Okay? I think she's pretty. But at the same time,
I mean, I do too, but it's just...
But at the same time, doesn't mean I need to always see it.
Yeah, we came here for the wrestling, like the beauty side of it, sure, but
it doesn't hurt if people are pretty. But at the same time, it's not essential for my enjoyment of the show.
No.
But to be fair, if you're trying to get that younger demographic of young teenage boys, the younger teenage guy, like the 18 to 24, this will get them. Believe you me. Hormones, my man, hormones.
It doesn't get me.
You're different. You're engaged.
So
you have no hormones. She's beating them out of you.
I could make a joke then, but I'm not going to.
Do it, coward. She's not here.
No.
You're afraid she'll watch it back, aren't you?
No, I know she doesn't. She's too busy watching Supernatural.
No, you're afraid I'll tell her is actually what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. For anyone wondering, he knows I won't actually tell her because I don't care.
You can't make an enzyme, but you can make a hormone. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I know you know how to do that, but that's another thing entirely. Careful what you say.
So you got exactly what you wanted in this tag match with Wendy Chu.
Exactly. This is what I'm going about earlier when I want variety in what I see.
Mm-hmm.
This is different. I like this, and it works because you play into it.
Yeah. This was Chu's debut as well, and it was fucking hilarious. I was laughing all the way through the match.
And that's what I wanted from this. It
Yeah.
needed to be this.
It's just like, I mean, this was just Chu's debut. I've actually got quite a bit of this, and like, yeah, Peter got what he wanted with Wendy Chu laying on the apron with her pillow. Then after that, the high flying moment, Wendy was laying on the top rope with her pillow. I mean, I couldn't stop laughing, and then the tag was made to Wendy, and it all changed. Wendy Chu kicked ass in her little onesie. It was funny as hell, to be honest, too. And Chu won as well.
Yeah. Now there'll be people that are wondering, but you like all this wrestling stuff. Why do you enjoy it? I enjoy it. It goes back to what I was saying before. I like variety in what I watch in my wrestling. That's why I watch different promotions. I like different types of wrestlers. There is not enough people like this in WWE, NXT, where you get something which is a gimmick,
Different.
but it's different and it works because you play into this kind of a gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
And this was bloody great. I like this. Keep doing it, please.
Then we had
See,
the MSK.
And even Grumpy Guts here liked it, which tells you everything.
Not grumpy.
No, he's not. I'm just busting his balls.
He's not the first one. So,
no, but you're getting married to that one, so.
It's true. Yeah. So, next we had an MSK and Dakota Kai segment talking about the Dusty Cup, which made sense because all three were prior winners, but at the same time, why was we seeing this? It just...
This falls into the there was no reason for it category.
Yeah. Then we had a Solo Sikoa segment, which was good, all business in character. Didn't have a problem with it. Then I think maybe the show was running behind because they cut them for time.
Yeah.
Because my answer to that is cut down the amount of packages and segments, for goodness sake. There's been so many fucking segments and packages in NXT the past couple of weeks. It's getting ridiculous. But the match between Boa and Sikoa was actually really good, but it ended in a double count out.
Okay. One, they fired most of the backstage staff.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to help with stuff like that. Two, this match was okay. The ending was bad, but not as bad as what follows it.
No, we got AJ Styles in the segment, which was... Yeah, anyway, then we got a North American title and Cruiserweight title recap segment that led to a Mellow segment, but first Boa and Sikoa had carried on fighting and Solo had a fireball thrown at his face and Boa was back wearing his mask behind a box that Solo threw him behind. This was shit.
I know.
This was like pantomime worthy.
This ranks up there with the Nikki and Ripley thing from Raw.
Yeah.
This is literally the only thing that challenged that for being the worst thing this week.
Say it with me. Oh no, it doesn't.
Oh yes, it does.
Yeah, that's the vibe that this segment gave off.
Mm-hmm.
So then we had...
Okay, hang on. Should explain that. For our non-UK viewers, it's a pantomime thing.
Yeah.
Because not everywhere has pantomime, so that's the thing to explain to people.
Mm.
If you don't know what pantomime is, do a search on the internet, you'll find it.
Or just panto. It might come up panto.
Yeah.
It'll be easier to spell for him.
Then, no, it won't.
Oh, yes, it fucking will. But after that, we had Von Wagner's fine had been paid off. We've already touched on that. Then we went back to the ring for Mello and Trick in their segment. The segment was okay, but Grimes was waiting in the car park for Mello, which was good. We had a segment about well, that was the end of that segment pretty much. Mello being told by Grimes that he's coming for the title.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Then we had the main event, which was AJ Styles versus Waller. This was okay. I think the crowd was definitely behind AJ.
What makes you think that?
Oh. It was very one-sided. But Waller looked like he was going to win, even after the picture-in-picture break. AJ locked in the calf crusher, and Waller got to the bottom rope and managed to pin together some more fence. And nearly got the win, but no dice. Then a stunner nearly ended the match, but AJ just kicked out. Then a brainbuster by AJ led to the phenomenal forearm for the win. Then AJ said, "You're good, kid, but you're not phenomenal." And then said he had a friend he wanted to introduce him to. And LA Knight's music hit, and we got LA Knight's return. And a brawl broke out, and that was basically the end of NXT. I'm glad LA Knight returned, but I could have waited until next week.
I figured you might have a question.
What?
Whether they actually did know each other.
No, I know they do.
Okay, just checking. Because I figured that might be a question. Obviously, for our viewers who aren't aware, they were in TNA together.
Mm-hmm.
And have done various independent shows together as well. So, yes, they do know each other.
Wasn't they... wasn't Waller... no, wasn't LA Knight in Aces and Eights? And
no.
AJ fought against him.
He fought against him, but no, he wasn't. LA Knight was Eli Drake.
Oh, right, yeah.
His main thing was like, dummy, yeah, dummy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's easy enough to spot because TNA Impact put a lot of that stuff up on YouTube. You can probably search and find it.
Yeah.
Or you can go to the Impact app and do it that way. It's not that much.
Not that bothered.
No, I'm talking to the viewers as well. In the words of your fiance, it's not all about you, Aaron.
I wish she said that.
Not in that voice, though. Her voice is more like this. It's not all about you, Aaron. Let's be fair. Katie's got a nice voice. She's also been on this show before, so people will know what she sounds like if you've ever seen any of the previous ones. We've had an after show and she's been on it. So, yeah. I just like making jokes, which she knows, which Aaron knows. It's a thing.
It makes a change into not being at my expense either, so I'm okay.
Yeah, but I also make jokes at my own expense, so it's not like it's not a mutual thing all round.
Yeah.
So, there you go. So if you're going to take the Mickey, you also have to be prepared to have the Mickey taken out of you.
Mm-hmm.
So also helps when you don't get offended, which I don't. It does make it easier. Because here's another concept for the world. You can have fun and it not be, oh, you've hurt my feelings. No, jokes are jokes.
Oh no, I hurt my funny bone.
I have a joke there, but I'm keeping that one to myself. Anyway. So that's NXT. So you have to give us a rating.
6.
Sure. Which, of course, brings us to NXT UK.
Yay.
Which starts with a tag match.
Mm.
Which is Jack Stars and Dave Mastiff against Tio Man and Raga.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never guess who won this match, people.
Yeah. It's
It's not Metallica, by the way.
no. I've just had a notification come through.
Yeah,
Ali's asked to be released.
I'm not surprised.
Mm.
Especially with what we talked about earlier. So
No. So yeah, this show started with a Walter package that was okay, to be honest, but it didn't mention Fraser at all. And then we had the match between Mastiff and Stars versus Tio Man and Rohan Raja in this NXT UK Tag Team Championship #1 contendership tournament. Try saying that 5 times fast.
firstly, why are you looking at Walter's package? Secondly,
I'm sorry, it's eye level.
Ginny will slap you.
Okay.
Then Walter will slap you for you to, looking at Ginny. So bear that in mind.
Well, you can't really say it was a segment because it was a video package. Because this week had Walter's last ever match on NXT UK for the meantime.
Yeah.
This was stated for the meantime.
Video package is definitely is the right description, absolutely.
Yeah, he probably will return at a later date. Probably when he gets pissed off with Vince McMahon.
Or when he breaks up with Ginny.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, the stupid part about the package to start off with was that they didn't mention Fraser at all. They literally just honk on about Walter for about 3 minutes. But like, anyway, we had the match between Mastiff, Stars, and D Familia. Both teams had new entrance music. Stars and Rohan started the match. Stars was outpowered early, but then switched to a submission game and fared well. And tagged in Mastiff, who just bulldozed both Raja and Tio Man and tagged Stars back in. This match was good. Dempsey later caused a distraction that gave Raja and Tio Man the opportunity over Stars, but that didn't last long after Stars got the tag to Mastiff. A distraction by Gallus afterwards, however, gave Stars and Mastiff the win. So they progressed in the tournament and they then, they progressed in the tournament. And then we had another origin story of Walter, which was another package about Walter. So, to kick off the show, we basically had a Walter sandwich.
Okay.
Which wasn't... It was okay, I just don't get why there was 2 segments so close together. Then we had Blair versus Mako in a recap segment, which was pretty pointless, to be honest. Then we had Dragunov versus Devlin announced as to be happening in 2 weeks. And to be honest, 2 weeks is a bit long, being as this rivalry kind of started to heat up about 3 weeks ago. So we're looking at 5-week waiting period on this match. We knew it was going to happen 3 weeks ago, but it's taken them 5 weeks to book it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty shit. Then we had a Mel versus Stevie Turner with Ginny on commentary. Ginny was being interviewed basically on commentary with this match happening in the background. Ginny wasn't commentating, she was being interviewed, asked questions and opinions and stuff. And for me, it was really distracting. Because you're trying to watch a match between two superstars and all you can hear is, oh yeah, this person does this person says that. It's basically like, it just didn't, it was distracting. It was just distracting.
Yeah, it was. I have a quick follow-up on the Ali thing, by the way.
Yeah.
Basically, at present, it's not known if WWE have accepted the request or not. Okay. But to reiterate the fact he's not been around, his last match was on the 29th of October, where he lost to Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Also, just recently had his third child, which is the first reason he wasn't on TV.
Yeah.
For a while. So still not on paternity leave, though, in case anyone's wondering. He only asked for like one show off for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was
But Mel got the win. Yeah. Ginny apparently wasn't happy about it though. Like, to be honest, didn't really care. To be honest, another couple of stars that were not happy were Pretty Deadly for the next segment. Apparently, there was two reasons. There's two reasons they wasn't happy. One, not being involved in the number one contender tag team tournament, which is understandable, being as the previous champions. And also Sam Gradwell for the fact that he called them a yogurt last week.
Well,
and they wanted revenge. So Scarlett said there'll be a match next week between Pretty Deadly and Gradwell and a partner of his choosing. Personally, I hope it's Saxon Huxley because he's not being used very well at the moment, and I think the two would make a pretty odd but cool tag team.
Well, whoever Gradwell picks, we know which side you're backing.
Yeah, this is true. Depending on who he picks, though, because if he picks, I don't know, somebody I like less than Pretty Deadly.
And who's that exactly?
Hang on, I'll think of someone.
You do know that you've got to be up early in the morning.
Kenny Williams?
Really?
No. Anyway.
I was going to say, yeah, we would be waiting a long time for you to come up with a name, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, it could possibly be the start of a new team or something good, though. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
Huxley's
not the worst shout, though, in all seriousness, because you mentioned him. So.
No, I mean, especially where he wasn't picked for De Familia, which I was a bit disheartened by, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that could be interesting. Then we're having A Kid versus Dar for the Heritage Cup next week. Was announced as well with another promo package. That was good too, but it is what it is. Then we had Ginny and Amel in a segment that was heated and will lead to a match next week, probably. And then we had the main event, which was Walter versus Nathan Fraser. I'm not sure how I felt about this matchup because I couldn't see Walter losing, to be honest, especially with how this was his last match and it was stated that it was his last match. And then how the match started, Fraser had a really good showing and he even reversed Walter's powerbomb twice. I mean, I kept thinking this is over, but Fraser kept coming back. I mean, Walter's left leg was injured and Fraser took as much advantage as he could, chop block after chop block, and Fraser stomped and splashed Walter, but it wasn't enough. Fraser went for broke, and Walter caught him on the top rope and finally hit the powerbomb on the third attempt for the win. this was to be this was like a really good match for like who it was as well. Like this is to be like a contender for match of the year this year as well. It was great, and I'd like to see a rematch.
Despite the fact it's his last match.
Yeah, I mean, if Walter does ever come back and Fraser's champion, it would be an interesting match.
Yeah, the only thing that I found weird about this match was he won it with a power bomb.
Yeah.
The rest of it was fine, but that seemed a bit weird for Walter.
Mm-hmm. Especially with an injured leg.
Yeah. Who does he think he is? Sid Udney?
He had to go back for that one.
Leon White? No? You don't know who? Do you actually know who those two are? I should probably ask, actually.
The first one, yeah. The second one,
no. Okay, so who was the first one, then?
I can't remember who you said.
Sid Udney.
I've heard of him.
You've heard of both of them, I guarantee you have.
I don't think I've heard of the second one.
Yes, you have. Just not by that name. That's his real name.
Oh.
It's their real names, but you've heard of both of them. I'm pretty sure you have.
Who is he?
The first one is Psycho Sid.
Yeah.
The second one is Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's how I know, and they both use power bombs as finishers for those of you who don't remember them. In fact, Vader broke someone's back doing a power bomb, so...
Vader bomb.
No, that's not a power bomb. The Vader bomb's the splash he does out the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Because Vader literally broke someone's back. You can find it on the network probably. If not, look on YouTube. You're looking for a match between Vader and a guy called Joe Furman.
Yeah.
For those of you who may want to see it. But other than that, yeah, Walter winning this match was not a surprise. But I thought Fraser did very well for himself here.
Yeah.
That, of course, brings us to the end of NXT UK, though, which means Aaron needs to give us a rating.
I gave it a 7.
Yeah.
There was like only a few bits that I didn't like.
Pretty deadly.
I can't really say that because I'm like unbiased, really, except of my general despise for them.
There you go.
Then we had we've got SmackDown to go through next, haven't
we? We do, yes.
So SmackDown started off with Heyman and Lesnar and Roman in a segment recap of last week.
Yeah.
Then a recap after that of the Pierce, Roman and Rollins segment that finished the show from last week. And that was the first 3 minutes of the show. Recaps.
Yep.
We got told we'd have a face-to-face segment between Rollins and Roman. We then was told Lita would be appearing on the show. This took us up to 5 minutes, and then we had the Usos in an in-ring segment where they spoke about their match with the New Day, said they respected them, and then announced a fatal 4-way tag match for a number 1 contendership between Los Lotharios, Cesaro, Mansoor, Jinder and Shanky, and Viking Raiders. And that took us up to a full 10 minutes of the show, and the match hadn't even started yet. So we then had all four of these teams come out and be introduced by the Usos, and to be honest, only three of these teams made sense. So Cesaro and Mansoor, not so much. And then the Usos, after they'd introduced all four of the teams, super kicked Mansoor and Eric before running out of the ring to the announce table to go on commentary. After the break, some order had been restored. The match was okay, but I think a triple threat would have been just as good. Because, like, put Jinder and Shanky, Viking Raiders, and Los Lotharios in a triple threat match, it would have been fine. Cesaro and Mansoor was just extras.
Yeah.
But the only good thing to come out of this was the Viking Raiders won and earned a title match later on down the line. These were the exact words. There was no mention of a match at the Royal Rumble or anything like that. It was literally later on down the line. So this could happen at Mania for all we know.
Or Survivor Series. But the reason they didn't mention when is because they probably don't want to announce too many title matches for wrestlers, because they're probably going to need a lot of people for the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing that both Raiders are probably going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. And plus, also, from what I've heard, there's a no about using NXT talent for the Rumble this year.
I would say, in all honesty, if you are going to use NXT talent for the Rumble and have it not having any sort of impact or an issue, Ciampa.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a storyline right now. It's not
He
going to
can isolate.
Yeah, it'd be perfectly fine. You could make it work. Because if you've got NXT talent or a similar to Ciampa situation, those ones could do it, because you could just isolate them beforehand, and then they can appear when they're ready.
Yeah.
Because it certainly doesn't seem to be affecting AJ Styles, for example, or Matt Riddle.
Yeah. So next we had Naomi and Deville in a segment which kind of screamed racism.
This whole angle screamed
that. Very bad. Especially when Sonya said that Naomi is just an extra. And then Naomi left the office.
I hate this.
Adam Pearce and Deville continued into their own little area of the segment, and Adam asked Sonya if she was okay, as if Naomi was actually going to hurt Sonya, knowing full well that she could lose her paycheck. And that was it. There was no, like, why are you being a bitch to Naomi? It was, are you okay, Sonya? And they said, oh, it's freezing in here, and turned up the heating.
I hate this so fucking much.
But during this segment, Sonya said to Naomi that as long as she has her jacket on, Naomi can't touch her. And then the heating was turned up because apparently it was cold in the office, and the segment ended. What happened next was absolute dog shit and a waste of time. We had the Insane segment. Basically, Sammy was trying to outdo Knoxville, and that sounds just as stupid as it appeared on SmackDown.
Oh, dear.
Then we had a random Shield Rumble segment to promote the face-to-face bit then we was back with Zayn, and he said no one is more of a jackass than Sami Zayn. And to agree in a different context, I agree with him.
I would point out the Shield thing for the Rumble.
Yeah.
You notice how they do
Added
the thing?
the knock into the yeah.
Moxley.
Yeah. But anyway, Zayn didn't do the stunt. Instead, Zayn chickened out and got Kinshasa'd by Nakamura and then thrown over the top rope by Boogs onto the landing pad that was supposed to be for his stunt. The only interesting thing about this, Boogs is sporting a new haircut. He's had all of his hair shaved off.
I was sorry, was that supposed to be interesting?
That's the only thing that caught my attention out of this whole segment.
The only good thing about this segment is that it wasn't the previous segment.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Nikki and Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. Then we had an Aliyah and Natalya pre-match segment, which was funny and good, and it gave this match a bit of heat. And Natalya said that she was going to beat Aliyah for the world record, which was 3.76 seconds in a match.
By the way, officially you round up, so it's 3.8.
Yeah. So Aliyah versus Natalya. Natalya literally assaulted Aliyah before the bell had even rung. The ref said she couldn't compete. Aliyah said she could. And the ring announcer announced that Aliyah couldn't compete. And then the ref changed it because Aliyah told him that she could. So Aliyah could compete. And the ring announcer announced it again. And this was the brand new ring announcer, by the way, that started this week. She had her working shoes on. And then the bell rang and Aliyah rolled Natalya up for a 3.2 second victory. And a new Guinness World Record. So Natalya has 4 records now, but she's a part of the 4th one in a way that she probably didn't want.
No. I like the fact they kind of built, at least, even if in a little way, they built something to this to make this actually mean something. I feel sorry for the referee and the ring announcer because this booking was stupid for them because it makes them both look fucking idiotic.
Yeah.
And the poor ring announcer, it's their first week doing it. What the fuck? Don't give them something like that the first week.
Yeah. But yeah, then all I can say from this is if Aliyah doesn't snap up the opportunity to do Aliyah 317 match, well, she's gonna
317, I just pinned your ass.
Yeah.
Well, that's WWE. They don't use the word ass anymore, would they?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be, I just pinned you, bitch?
Yeah. So I think they should get on that match.
They probably should.
Yeah, that'd sell.
Yeah, well, you know
Aliyah
about
317. I says I just pinned you, bitch, and I got the Guinness Book of Record to prove it.
Yeah, she also sells like a little book, and the only fact for Guinness in it is the pin
Yeah.
and when it happened and where.
Yeah.
So yes.
I mean, this was pretty bad, especially if your name's Natalya, but it was good in ways too, I guess.
Yeah. Aaron 316, I just made your merch.
So next after that, we had Michael Cole introduce Lita. I mean, I was wondering what was going to happen here. Cole asked Lita why she was coming back for the Rumble, and Lita said she's got one more run left in her.
Money!
And she then claimed that she's going to win the Royal Rumble.
money.
Yeah, a main event WrestleMania which brought out the Queen, aka Charlotte Flair.
By the way, there is a reason I keep saying money for Lita, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Then Charlotte asked Lita how she's gonna feel when she got eliminated by her, and Lita responded by asking how she was gonna do that with such a massive head. And the crowd joined in by starting a giant head chant, which was funny. And then Charlotte reminded Lita that she retired Trish Stratus and she'd do the same to Lita. And then Lita feinted a slap that made Charlotte flinch. Charlotte chuckled, but then Lita hit her with a twist of fate. This segment was good, to be honest. The fan in me would be glad to see like this match at Mania, but there are other stars who deserve it a lot more, to be completely honest. Some that are currently in stupidly racist storylines.
Who could that be?
I don't know.
Yeah. This was okay for what it was. Yeah, no issue with it.
No, the fan in me is just like, oh yeah, Charlotte versus Lita at WrestleMania. That's something I'd love to see.
Yeah, also builds up to the Rumble.
Yeah.
Which is cool. For anyone unaware, the reason for the Charlotte thing when I said money, right? By the way, one, not a bad thing to want to do something to earn money. Big fan of that one. But the reason why particularly I mention it is before WWE got to appear in the Rumble and gave her a contract, she was talking with AEW. So guess why this happened, ladies and gentlemen? And you know what? Lita probably did it to make more money. Do I blame her? No fucking way do I. Good on her. Make the most of your opportunities and make the money.
So after that, we then had a recap of what happened to Ridge Holland's nose. Then a pre-match segment by Sheamus. That was okay, to be honest. And then we had Sheamus versus Ricochet. New entrance music for Ricochet was what it was. This was going to be interesting, and it was, but surely the slingshot Sheamus did under the ring to Ricochet would have caused a DQ, but apparently not.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. I didn't catch the last thing you said.
The slingshot Sheamus did under the ring to Ricochet should have caused a DQ.
It's a judgment call.
But it didn't.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Sometimes it will be, sometimes it won't be, and either way, you're not really wrong.
No, I mean, like when a wrestler a few weeks back got smacked in the face with part of the announce table and got DQ'd. But apparently using the underneath of the ring was fine.
Okay, that's different though, right? Because when you slam a wrestler's head into the announce table, it happens all the time, and nobody gets DQ'd for it. Okay, so when it happened the other week, that was weird. That's why it stands out more. People being slingshotted into the ring or to the bottom of the ring stuff happens all the time. No one's ever been DQ'd for it. So that's why that's a judgment call. Because technically, by the rules, yeah, it's a DQ, but no referee gives it.
No, I mean, to be honest, I'm glad it didn't, as the match was actually really good. No real surprise considering the talent that was in the ring.
Yeah.
But it ended with the brogue. So, c'est la vie.
Yeah.
Then we went back to the backstage area in Deville's office.
Right. I was going to say, though, Sheamus must love doing that move to Ricochet.
Yeah.
Knowing that Ricochet was so with the shit out of that move.
Yeah, and he can do it from so many different angles as well.
Yeah.
Which makes it all the more interesting. I'm just waiting for the day that Ricochet goes into a 630 and like
Gets
Sheamus
bro
just
kicked during it.
probes him mid 630 and he just carries on spinning another 360.
Yeah, exactly. So he probably really likes this.
Yeah.
But yes, you were saying they went backstage.
Back to Sonya in her office, and it had gone too hot in her office, and she took off her jacket, and lo and behold, Naomi was waiting in the wings. Unfortunately, though, Adam Pearce got in the way, and yeah, Naomi got gifted with a rematch against Charlotte next week.
Couldn't care less.
You know that this is going to turn into a tag match between Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville versus Naomi and Lita, most likely.
The week before the Rumble, yeah.
Yeah. So, next we had Kofi Kingston with a message from King Woods in the ring. King Woods will be missing the Rumble match due to a calf injury, but Kofi will be entering instead on the King's behalf. Corbin interrupted and Madcap did jokes. This segment was okay, just partially pointless. And why Madcap versus Kingston? It made no sense. It was something new, but it made no sense.
Yeah, something new. But
also, Madcap won.
Yeah, you still have to give us logic.
There is none.
Right, that's the point. This is probably number 3 of the worst things of the week.
Especially with the fact that Madcap won.
Yeah. Although, actually, now I think about it, probably the worst thing of the week, everything should move down one, okay? Nikki and Rhea are 2. The other one was 3. This is 4. Number 1, until they sort that fucking bollocks out, is this racist piece of shit Angle.
That's been number 1 for quite a few weeks now.
Yeah, I thought I should clarify that because I think people may think I'm overlooking it. I'm not. I just assumed it was a given, but I thought I should clarify it in case anyone is watching for the first time. Yeah. That angle with Sonya and Naomi, whether it's meant to be or not, comes across as fucking racist.
The stupidest part about this, it makes no sense whatsoever because Sonya Deville is a part of the LGBTQ plus black fucking community, and so is Naomi.
Nothing to do with the talent. Again,
no,
very clear. This is stupid, creative.
And the shittest part about this Madcap versus Kofi Kingston, this was basically our main event match.
Yeah, because what ended the show was not a match.
No, it was the face-to-face segment between Roman and Rollins. And this main segment was a full 10 minutes long, including Roman's full entrance. We was also told with this weekend's passing, he passed with this Lesnar and Universal title reign lengths in history, which really couldn't give a shit about, to be honest. Seth had some good points in his promo. Roman pulled the wife card, and that shut Seth up until he outbounced the Usos and got away unscathed, saying he made Roman and he will destroy him. Yeah.
Why?
What?
This segment. Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
To be fair, I understand having Roman and Rollins having a face-to-face, but the content of this... Yeah.
Especially pulling the wife card. Like, come on. It's
Yeah,
like,
especially from the guy who's been going around and saying, "Acknowledge me."
I mean, the funniest part about this was Seth went, put her there for old time's sake with the shield fist bump. The other dude's in AEW. What the fuck?
Well,
And
technically,
also,
technically he's not, but we'll get to that.
also, just like another thing, after the fist bump thing, Roman turns around and says, "That's beneath me now." But then he goes and pulls the fucking wife card. That's beneath me now, but I'll have at your wife. The fuck?
Yeah. For anyone wondering, yeah, Moxley's still with AEW, but currently in rehab. Technically not in AEW, he's in a rehab center. However, for those of you who would like to know, he is scheduled for a title match in GCW on the 23rd of January. So he's going to be out soon. So it looks like he's on the road to recovery and getting there well. So big thumbs up from me for that one.
Yep. Ditto.
Which is also why the fist thing's a bit of bad taste. But WWE don't seem to care about that. They've got a racist looking angle going on. They don't mind putting on the past and then saying it's beneath them, and then they thrown up the wife.
I wouldn't blame the AEW talent. When WWE took a shot at AEW for the women's tag match, if I was one of them, I'd have said, "Oh yeah," and like this is nothing compared to your racist fucking angles on SmackDown, and then sent that picture.
Yeah, the thing is though, I personally prefer that nobody does that shit because that will start problems. And
it can't be a problem if it's true.
Oh, it can be a problem if it's true in a whole bunch of ways. Legal ways, fighting ways.
Both ways.
Well, apparently WWE has a problem with both ways because apparently they're making. I remember I never remember how to say the letters properly, so I'm not going to try. That particular community be involved in a racist storyline with somebody else who is also a proud person who supports that community.
Yeah. This is basically LGBTQ plus versus BLM. It makes no sense because they're both pride-based organizations.
To be clear, no, don't say the organisation because that's a different thing for BLM. BLM as in the movement to make sure black people are looked after and don't avoid danger and stuff. That's a great thing to be behind, absolutely. The organisation for BLM is different because it's a political movement.
Yeah.
And they're not looking out for they're not looking out for the general welfare of that community. As for the other one, which again, as I said, I never remember the letters in sequence, and I'd rather not try in case I get it wrong.
LGBTQ plus. Even though the American one it's got like loads of, it's got like A and I in it somewhere or something.
Okay, but you're the one that's saying it, and you represent that community, so I'll go with you. In that instance, the whole point of them is they represent everyone of that community. Just not the same thing as BLM. I just want to make the distinction there because there is a difference.
Yeah, I mean, LGBT plus is always growing as well. There's always like a new sexual orientation added to the fold or something.
To be fair,
It's like
to be fair, there's always more black people too, because babies. So, it's just the way you made that sound as if it was like, no, we only produce more of the community. We don't produce more black people. Well, of course we do, because black people have children. That's how that works. But also, some people are both black and represent that community too.
Yeah, I know a couple of black trans men.
There you go. So it's not mutually exclusive is the other thing to make clear.
No.
Which
Can be part of both.
Which is what makes things like this worse when you have a storyline like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's the Klan doing a storyline with somebody who's black. That would be different. Also, very bad taste.
You would be surprised though.
Although, do not suggest that to Vince because he'll probably do it.
Yikes.
But yeah, you need to give us a rating for SmackDown. You didn't do it yet.
Three and a half.
Cool. There you go. So those are reviews for the week. So also what we should do, of course, before we go too much further, so that way when we do finish, we need to do Aaron's plug. So Aaron's charity for the month is the Salvation Army. As you guys can see right here. Charity page in the description down below. Also wearing the Salvation Army shirt as normal. And of course, that's why the hair's red.
And the tee.
Did mention the t-shirt. But there you go.
And this.
Somebody's been using rude words. There's more in there, isn't there? You've been using rude words.
There's 8 in there now. There was 4 today before I streamed.
Yeah, for those of you wondering, if you're not shown this show before, his rude words on this show do not count towards that.
And also, I would like to clarify that I am actually sticking to my word.
Easter eggs. There we go.
I'm gonna be feeling very boxed in by the end of this month.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no yoke. But for those of you who'd like to help Aaron raise money towards the charity and help him get more eggs, you can catch him on the Twitch channel.
Funniest part about it though was this evening, this afternoon when I was streaming. It was I was playing with friends and they make me laugh so much. And when I laugh, I really can't control my autism. So every time something made me jump, I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Dang.
I was like, "Oh damn!" I was like, "No." So that's a double dinger. So I said "fuck," then I said "damn," and it classroom swear words count.
I'll say "damn's" not a swear word, by the way.
It's not. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's offensive, but it's not a swear.
Okay, I'm only on 6. I'll just put. I'll say 7 because like discretion.
Put it this way: are you religious?
I can't really say anything with this on my chat.
No, there is a reason I'm asking, because if you actually are of religious belief, then damn is a swear. If you're not, then it's not.
Yeah, I mean, you used to get told off for it whenever you said "damn" at school. So
yeah, as far as religion's concerned, it's a swear. But if you're not religious, it's not. Just to clarify for people. Omni, 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 om, Easter eggs on here. But you know what happens if you get too many Easter eggs, don't you?
What happens?
This does.
NXT
3.0. Although, if you eat too many of the blue ones, this happens.
Yikes.
Oh dear. But yeah, catch Aaron on his charity page and obviously on his Twitch to help with the charities and support and stuff. It's all good. Goes to a good cause. Salvation Army, of course, to the end of this month, and then of course at the end of the month the charity changes.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, Aaron will update us on what's going on with the merch stuff.
Yeah, it's looking like March will be the time for new merch. So it'll
also
be coinciding with my birthday. So
okay, cool. Other thing as well, we touched upon this a while ago, so I'll reiterate to you. If you wanted the original merch, the ones that got taken, you can generate. If you're a bigger size person with some of the sizes, let Aaron know if you wanted that stuff, because there was issues with that. Aaron was trying to sort them out, so let him know.
I did sort it, and the plus sizes were available again.
There you go. So yeah.
If you still want or need or would like to purchase a plus size hoodie, then just let me know and I'll put it up for you, and you can purchase it, and then I'll take it back down again.
Yeah. To be clear, it's only for those with the bigger sizes, because there was an issue for a while there.
Yeah, I managed to actually make about £80 on the Inspired merch. It was actually pretty successful. I sold over £200 worth of merch, so
it's always good. Good to hear.
And that's the only money I get from streaming too, currently. So like that's a whole year's worth of work for me, and it's £80.
This is why you'll find a lot of people, when they're doing online, whether it's YouTube or Twitch, they'll be trying to get to target certain goals. On Twitch, it's partner, I believe.
Yeah.
And
I'm
on
affiliate
YouTube,
at the moment, which is the step below partner.
Yeah. On YouTube, you have to get so many subscribers, so many watch hours and stuff like that. And then you can become monetized.
Yeah. And also, if you get a certain amount of followers, otherwise, you also get like certain play buttons, like a gold play button, diamond play button, platinum play button.
Okay. Just had a notification from let me know there's an issue with Twitch, apparently. So the Twitch people may not be receiving us properly at the moment. So, but we're not going to be much longer anyway, so it doesn't overly matter.
No.
So there we go. But yeah, it's a case of So if you guys can help Aaron get to that partner status on Twitch, and obviously it helps him support the channel, and help him to keep going with the charity, so it will help.
Yeah,
well, it's a good thing. As far as this channel goes here, more subscribers and watch hours is what helps this one, because eventually if I get to, I think it's 100 subscribers and a certain amount of hours watching, then I can monetize the channel. So, which will all be good, but in my case, it's more of a case of it'd be nice In Aaron's case, it would help him actually keep everything running, and so we can still do the charity funds. So it's a bit different. So if you're going to have to pick between the two, that one. Okay.
But obviously, support Peter as much as I can as well. Best
I mean,
photographer I know.
Thank you. I appreciate that, but you're raising money for charity, and this, to me, I enjoy it and it's fun. It'd be nice to make money from this, but I do have another job that I make money from, so it's not the end of the world either. So, but it'd be nice. I'm not gonna lie.
We all have our dreams.
We do. Most of mine could never be repeated on the internet, though.
Well, that's just your dirty mind, isn't it?
No, they involve words you can't say on the internet. It's got nothing to do with anything visual.
Speaking of which, have you heard? Do you use Netflix?
In what fashion do I use Netflix?
Do you watch things on Netflix?
Cobra Kai. That's pretty much it.
Have you seen Jimmy Carr's new thing? It's like an episode thing. Dark bits. It's really dark, but it's bloody brilliant.
I've hardly had time to watch anything lately. Literally, the last thing I've watched was Cobra Kai because I watched the entire series of the most recent one. I watched the whole thing all in one go while I was editing because I find it easier to do that when I edit.
Yeah.
Because I'm one of these weirdo people who can multitask because guys generally can't, but I can.
I can too.
I find it easier. So I had Cobra Kai on while I was doing this.
Mm-hmm.
It just works much easier for me. It helps me function.
Yeah, well, if you get the chance, definitely give it a watch. It's your kind of humour.
Sure. As far as people wondering, the reason why I didn't say anything about Aaron playing his computer game while we were streaming is one. Aaron was trying to do something for his game goal, which he was trying to sort out already, but we already knew this, plus we discussed this in the show. Secondly, multitasking. I know Aaron is still paying attention to me while he's playing. I know this because I know Aaron can do it. And thirdly, autism. So if anyone was wondering.
Yeah. I mean, I was literally just collecting resources so that way I know that I'm set for Wednesday because I finished my Wednesday stream this week, halfway through building my house, and my goal for Wednesday is to finish building my house. So, like, getting like the resources that I needed to do that is a lot easier to do while I'm doing something like this because I can concentrate on this and do that at the same time. Plus, I didn't have the sound on, so there's no way to get monetized or like demonetized or anything like that for it. So,
well, because the channel isn't monetized at the moment, it doesn't affect here.
Yeah.
The only thing it would be is possibly a copyright strike. That would be it.
Yeah. And I know that like because the sound is off, you didn't have to worry about that. So
yeah, it's not an issue. So, but I mean, I told you before. I don't mind people doing stuff while they're on the show because I tell people eat and drink on the show. I don't care as long as people can hear what you're saying and they know you're paying attention. It's fine. I don't mind because we're not like this is the 9 o'clock news and here is the highlights of the hour. Bong.
Yeah,
it's none of that stuff.
I mean, sure, the show might have been a little bit longer than normal, but it was it. And I do apologize if anybody's like watching live and they didn't like the fact that it was a little bit longer.
Yeah, it does happen occasionally though, so people probably are used to it. So, and it's one of those things. Plus, it's a Sunday night for us in the UK, so there's usually not a lot to do on a Sunday night anyway, because people get to relax and sit back and just get to enjoy it.
I mean, I cooked dinner for me, my mum, and my brothers this evening, and I did tomahawk steaks and marbled mac and cheese. And
Yeah.
I was exhausted after I did that, and all my brothers did was bitch that apparently the steak was overcooked. So it's just like, okay, next time do it yourself.
Yeah. See, what we all took from that is basically your fiance is going to want a steak next time you're together. She's going to need to make her food. That's pretty much what I got from that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Aaron's response right there is no.
Well, I don't mind. I'm good at cooking, so.
He's good at cooking, huh? See there, ladies and gentlemen? That's a catch. And you all missed out. Ha 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 ha. Because not on the market anymore.
No. Been cooking since I was 8 years old, so I hope I'm good. I haven't killed anyone yet. Like.
It's early. But,
yeah, early days.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, Aaron's fiance did the Beyonce thing. She put a ring on it.
Yeah, it's figurative.
And he... No, actually, no. You know where I'm going, but I'm not finishing the comment.
Yeah, I get, yeah. Yikes.
So, yes, people. Oh, dear. Obviously, we're all
so
done.
many innuendos, so little time.
Many innuendos. Cool. Obviously, for people from the network, we did hook up with Steph yesterday, which was done, so you guys can check that out as well. Tomorrow, I'm doing a show at 8 o'clock, which is a special edition of the Chill Time, which will be me talking about people being themselves. So, which should be interesting considering some of the things I'm going to say. Because when you look, it's to do with the fact I'm a certain generation where social media was not a thing. Okay? Because I remember life before these things. Okay? And I'm going to give my view on a lot of these things. Bear in mind, my view, my opinion. You are all entitled to your own. You don't have to agree with me. Some of you may agree with me. The point of that show is to talk, and I welcome the dialogue and debate with anyone who agrees or doesn't agree with me. That's fine. Not the point of it is to make people more aware of these things may work for you, these things may not. But at the same time, it's more to be like just healthy discussion. And on Wednesday, I'll be doing the next edition of Behind the Lens, which is the photography podcast, where I talk about the fun of doing of covering events and what's involved in that. So you guys get a little bit of an insight on that one. So that'll be Wednesday. That's 8 p.m. as well. I'm trying to keep things roughly the same sort of time each day I can, but that usually will always depend on how busy I am. This show generally stays within an hour or so of what it was today, of when it starts, because we just tried to do that for various reasons. It's generally Sunday because it's the day me and Aaron generally both can do, so it does help.
Yeah.
So, and at some point, there will be the Roken Film Show, where we will be talking about, let's just say, the subject will be the community you represent in the entertainment industry.
That'd be an interesting show.
So, because I will be talking about it, and I'll be trying to get various people on it. So it'll be a case of whether you'll be available as well, because I think that would be an interesting idea.
Yeah, I mean, I can pitch in with like Marvel and stuff like that.
Yeah, you do represent that community, so I think that helps as well. There's a couple of people I'm going to try and get on as well. It's just sorting that day where everyone can do it, because obviously streaming, work commitments, and so on. So, but that one I want to bring to light for a whole bunch of reasons. So I think it'll be interesting to make. The idea is to try and get people who represent as many things as possible.
Yeah.
Because I am, speaking for myself, I am a heterosexual white male. I would like input from people who are from other demographics and other aspects of society. So it's not just, it's the white guy who's straight talking about everything. Because in a subject like that, I want the input of people who actually represent that community
Mm-hmm.
and their take on what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So, but we'll let everyone know when that is anyway. Obviously, with this show, it will be back next Sunday, which will probably be Royal Rumble preview, I think. Isn't the Rumble end of January, something like that?
I don't think it's this week. I think it's the week after. I think it's on the 29th.
We will double check that. So, because if it's the Sunday, where if it's not next Sunday, Rumble is the following Sunday, the Sunday that we're doing the show. Obviously, we will have to preview the Rumble.
It's the 29th. Yeah, Rumble's on the 29th. So Saturday the 29th.
So, yeah, 2 weeks' time. So next week is the week before, and then on the it'll be the 30th. Is the Rumble a Saturday then?
Yeah, from what I've heard.
Oh, so then we will have to preview it then, because the 23rd will be a Sunday.
I will just check. Oh.
I know day one was a Saturday, but I wasn't sure if all the events are going to be Saturdays, because WWE events tend to be Sundays, not Saturdays.
Oh, no, it's Sunday the 22nd January. Sunday the 30th of January, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So we can actually do the preview on literally the day.
Yep.
It's 2 weekend time. So yeah, so next weekend will be like normal reviews, and then the 30th will be previewing the Rumble as well as the shows. So we'll probably be a bit longer like this was. So But there you go, people. That's pretty much how that works. Cool. So let's see. I think we've covered your bits and pieces. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to do. No, I think we've covered the perks and stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I think it is probably time to say bye-bye to all of you and see you soon. So, bye-bye.